Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Deepjyoti. Those who are new here, well, I'm a third year student pursuing political science honors from KMC Delhi University. In this video, I'll be sharing my experience with the iPad Air 4 and I've been using it for over a year. I bought this iPad last year around October and it's almost a year, so I'll be sharing all my experience of using it from a student perspective. So let's get started with its features first. Let's talk about its display. As claimed by Apple, it is a 10.9-inch liquid retina display and it is really bright and the quality is really great here. Also, the bezels here are very narrow, so it helps during note taking. There is no ProMotion features like 120Hz like the iPad Pro, but it is 60Hz and I feel 60Hz is pretty normal for all users out there and you won't find much difference here. The animations, everything is really smooth and there is no lags whatsoever. Here is a comparison of the brightness between the iPad Air 4 and the iPad 5th generation. In the video, it might seem that the iPad Air 4's brightness is not that great, but trust me, in real life, the iPad Air brightness is really great and really bright. The display here is laminated, which means there is no gap between the glass and the display underneath it, so that while you are taking notes or whenever you are using it, there won't be any space left. It feels like as if you are touching the screen only, which was not present in the earlier previous generations. And because of the laminated screen, it is advisable to use a tempered glass, because if in any case it breaks, then that repair cost will be very high, because the glass as well as the screen underneath it both has to be changed. So use a tempered glass while using it. Now, apart from the display, one good thing that Apple has provided in this iPad is the inclusion of the Type-C port here. The previous iPads didn't have a Type-C, where they were using the Lightning port and that was really slow and sluggish. But the inclusion of Type-C ports opens new opportunities, like you can use your external hard disks or whatever devices you have with a Type-C port. Plus the charging is also fast. It has 20 watts fast charger, so around 1.5 hours it gets fully charged. And also if you want to use external monitors, you can also do the same using this Type-C port. Now coming to the camera, it has single 12 megapixels rear camera and the front camera is 7 megapixels. The camera here can be compared to the iPhone XR, which was pretty good. You can shoot up to 4K 60 FPS on this iPad. Being a student myself, I use this camera just to scan the documents and that's it, and slightly casually take some pictures maybe once a month. Now coming back to the power capabilities of this iPad, it has the latest A14 Bionic processor and recently Apple launched their own new sets of iPads which has the A15, but trust me, A14 is really good, and just because of this efficiency, the battery here is also great. Like you can easily last one day. 4GB RAM for this iPad is more than enough. You won't be needing much RAM because everything stays in the memory, and I haven't faced any lags till now. So the power of this iPad is great. As far as the connectivity of this iPad is concerned, it has equipped with the latest Wi-Fi 6 version. It supports both 2.4 GHz and 5 GHz bands. Also, one good thing about the Wi-Fi setting is that whenever you are connecting to a new network, it shows you whether it has any privacy concern for you or whether you can use the private DNS address or not. So it's a bit handy feature which I liked about Apple. So these were the basic iPad features. Now I won't bore you with all the numbers. You can see that on Google itself. So let's talk about my own experience as a student of using this iPad for an year. Now first let's talk about the note-taking experience. Last year when I got this device, I switched from pen and paper note taking style to digital note making, and since then I haven't regretted for once. The experience is pretty awesome of taking notes digitally, and using the Apple Pencil, it takes the game to a whole new level. I have also made a dedicated video on how to take notes on OneNote and made a tutorial video on it. You can watch the same. I'll provide the link in the I button or in the description, so you can check them out. So this was the note taking experience, and now let's talk about the multitasking. While you are taking notes on one side, also splitting the screen and watching another lecture video on another side, it really saves a lot of time and your efforts. So the multitasking in an iPad is truly next level. Now, apart from this multitasking and study purposes, we need some entertainment, right? And iPad is really a great entertainment device. While in the free time, I use the OTT platforms like Disney Hotstar to watch some movies or to watch sports, and the experience is also great. It has dual stereo speakers both sides, so the experience is really immersive. Also, to compare this iPad speaker and the sound quality, I've compared it with again the iPad 5th generation, so that you can better decide which one to go for.
I've seen things that you wouldn't believe. I was lost until I found that I'm invincible. Deep in the dark, down on my knees, I've seen things that you wouldn't believe. I was lost until I found that I'm invincible. Nobody gon' bring me down.
So there are 4 speaker grills, 2 on the top and 2 in the bottom, but there are only 2 actual speakers, so don't get confused in that. And due to the A14 Bionic processor, the rendering time is really less, and you can also edit pictures, videos like very fast. There won't be any lags or whatsoever. And if I edit 4K videos in this iPad, I can guarantee that it won't lag. But if I edit those same footage on this laptop, which has a dedicated graphics card, sometimes it lags, and once in a while the whole project crashes. So the experience is not that great on a laptop, but surely the video rendering capabilities on an iPad is like seriously to its next level. And once in a while, after I get bored, I do game, and the game I play is Call of Duty, and the experience is again really great. And it is really a mini console, you can say. No matter what game you throw on it, it runs like buttery smooth. There won't be any lags whatsoever. And one more thing I forgot to mention is that you can use your iPad as a mini book. You can read ebooks. Like yesterday I opened this Sapiens book, A Brief History of Mankind, and all the ebooks you can read on this iPad, and it acts like a Kindle. In fact, I would say that it is better than Kindle in many ways. So this was my student experience of using this iPad. And let me tell you that being a student, and I'm not a very heavy user, I'm just a normal student who uses this iPad for his academics and for some entertainment like note making. Then sometimes I am editing pictures in Lightroom, and then entertainment like YouTube or Disney Hotstar or Prime Video, Netflix, all this stuff. So I haven't faced any such problem right till now. These were all the great sides of using this iPad as a student. Now there are also few cons, so let's see what are the cons here. The first thing that I would like to mention is the pricing. Last year when I bought this iPad, it costed around 54,000. Definitely the pricing can be a deal breaker for many of you, but if budget is not a concern for you, then definitely iPad Air can be a great choice. The second thing is the loss of headphone jack. Apple has removed the headphone jack from this iPad for whatever reasons, I don't know, but the previous generation used to have a headphone jack above in the top. So if you are a person who uses headphone jack a lot or are into music production, then definitely this iPad can be a deal breaker. Although you can use an adapter like USB type C to headphone jack adapter and use it just a normal iPad, but it's not a deal breaker for me because I use the Bluetooth earbuds and speakers, so it hasn't been a bigger problem for me. The next con is the storage. The iPad that I'm using right now has 64 gigs of storage, and if you want to upgrade the storage from 64, then there's option of 256. Storage is a bigger factor. I'm currently using almost 63 GB of storage, so I have around 1 GB left. So storage is a concern, but again, it's not a bigger factor for me because I use the Google Drive and upload all my contents over there. And since I'm using the G Suite of student, so I get free unlimited space on Google Drive, so I store all my contents there, so it's not a bigger factor for me. And you can also do the same. If you're a student, then definitely take the advantage of the free Google Drive storage. I've already made a video on that, so do check it out. To be very frank, last time I bought this device, I was a bit skeptical, like how will I manage with the iPad, but I think it is one of the best decisions or the best things that I have bought till now. So definitely iPad can be a great investment, and I don't regret that I paid higher, like 54,000. It is now available for around 43,000 Indian rupees during this online sales and all, but I think the value it offers is really great. So this was my 1 year experience of using this iPad as a student. If you haven't liked and subscribed this channel, then please do the same, because it really makes up for all the time and effort that goes into making such videos, and it really motivates me to bring such content to you. And recently we crossed 300 subscribers. Thanks for all of you for supporting. And if you have any queries, any doubts regarding this about iPad, which iPad to buy, then do comment. I'll be happy to answer those. So see you guys in the next video. Till then, as always, stay safe and stay happy. Bye bye.